He sees a lot of things in me that he can't stop. You know, not only does he see speed, does he see power, but he sees a lot of heart in me. Now I'm the one who has the power. Now I'm the one. Canelo said he doesn't fight. He fights for greatness. He fights for titles. Well, let me go pick up all the titles and let's come back into the table and talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In a recent interview, David Benavidez talked about wanting to prove himself and said he still has not been given chances that match his skill. He said, "I have been here for 11 years and I know my moment will come. I stay motivated because I believe I can be the best." He made it clear that nothing can slow down his passion for the sport, and his determination is still strong.
Just want to tell everybody, if you guys doubt me in anything outside of the boxing, never doubt my character, never doubt my competitiveness. You know, I have the spirit of a warrior, and I'm, extremely excited to show you guys against all the best fighters in the world what I'm really made of, because this is what I'm here for. This is my destiny, and I'm not going to stop until that.
Benavidez also said he is fully committed to his path to greatness and believes nothing can stop him from reaching his goals. He said, "Everyone knows I am brave, I am focused, and ready to face anyone to earn my respect in the ring with full confidence and strong determination." He repeated that he wants to be one of the best boxers in the world and is ready to push through any challenge that comes his way.
Good thing about me and David Benavidez' stock, we have a lot of great fights on the table. And you guys know I'm going to take every single one of them. I'm not going to run from anything because at the end of the day, this is my destiny. If it's my destiny to go through these hard fights and win these world titles, that's what I'm gonna do. This is what boxing is about. I'm sick of seeing fighters getting the easiest fights just because they're getting the biggest paychecks. Like it don't. At the end of the day, it's not even about money. It's about giving the fans of boxing the fights that they deserve. They're paying the money at the end of the day, so let's go to war. Let's do what these people want to see us do, and let's go to war and may the best man.
In the same interview, David said he has held big dreams and goals since he was a young kid. He said he is working hard to reach those goals because he believes that by putting in real effort and beating strong opponents, he will move to the top of the boxing rankings. Benavidez stressed that he cares more about staying calm and staying focused on his work than taking part in useless talk. He believes that real success comes from results, not words. He added that his greatest win will come when the boxing world sees his hard work and gives him the respect he has earned.
Looking at a man that's not going to let anything outside the ring, mess with his game. Since I was 3 years old, I've had one dream only. That's becoming the greatest boxer of all time, and that's exactly what we're going to accomplish. Yeah, we're almost there, and we're going to keep going until there's nobody left to say anything bad.
As today's main headline, David Benavidez said that Canelo Alvarez is afraid to face him in the ring, claiming he has repeatedly avoided the fight. He explained that Canelo knows how skilled and strong he is and finds it hard to handle. He pointed out that Canelo struggles against big, powerful boxers, using his fight with Dimitri Bivol as an example. Benavidez added that while Canelo does well against smaller fighters, he is reluctant to face bigger, stronger opponents like him because of the risks involved.
The way I've seen him handle my presence is he's definitely scared of me. If you have a fighter talking so much trash in front of you, why don't you make an example of him to the world? Beat me in the ring and make a whole lot of money. But Canelo Alvarez, as you can see from every time he fights a guy that's big with power, like Bivol, you know what I mean? And he's not able to suppress these fighters as much as he's able to suppress the little.
Furthermore, David said that Canelo might have won a fight if it had happened earlier in his career, when he was still growing and easier to beat. But now he believes he has become a major challenge in the sport. David stressed that Canelo now sees his strength, skill, and determination, making the fight much tougher. Confident in his progress, he said he is ready to prove himself on the biggest stage. He added that his record already shows his talent, and his goal is to keep improving while dominating every step on his way to the top.
He took the fight with me way back then, because if he had a chance to beat me, it would have been back then. He has no chance of beating me now, especially now. I'm getting all this confidence. I'm stepping into my prime. I'm able to deal with these bigger shows better. I'm able to thrive in these shows. I'm able to, every time I fight, I'm always winning by a significant amount. You know what I mean? So I'm learning my craft better and better each and every single fight. I'm gaining more confidence every single fight, and like I said, I really want to go in there and hurt people. I'm not a boxer. I'm a warrior, and I go in there, I tear.
Furthermore, while talking about Canelo's recent loss to Bivol, he called Terence Crawford the greatest boxer of all time. He praised Crawford's incredible achievements, which most fighters only dream of but never reach. He said Crawford's performance in the ring was a complete masterclass, showing amazing skill and control. Benavidez highlighted that Crawford faced big challenges in moving up in weight, but handled it with great focus and determination. He noted that Crawford not only moved up 3 weight classes, but also beat one of the best pound-for-pound fighters of this generation, proving wrong those who doubted him. He took on the challenge and won, securing his place among boxing's all-time greats.
I'd like to get your thoughts on Crawford's performance against Canelo, because he beat you to it. What do you think about how Crawford did?
First of all, I just want to give Terence Crawford a great congratulations. You know, he's reached a part in history that only so many fighters get to even accomplish in boxing. You know, he's one of the greatest of all.
Most importantly, while David Benavidez keeps calling out Canelo Alvarez for a fight, veteran trainer Ronnie Shields has advised him not to take it. Shields said that now could be the right time for the Mexican star to think about retiring. He described Canelo's career as outstanding, filled with achievements that have already secured his place in boxing. He said he has nothing left to prove, and added that it would be better for him to retire now than risk another tough and potentially damaging fight.
It's over, it's over. You know? And right now, I don't feel he should fight anymore. Look, he had one of the best careers any fighter could ever have. He's done everything he set out to do. What's next? To prove what? He has nothing to prove. He's already proved everything. And I think right now, the door is closed. He should shut it himself and say, you know what? I've had a great career. Enough is enough.
So Benavidez fight doesn't catch your attention at this moment?
Moving forward, remember that Ronnie Shields predicted Bivol would win the Canelo fight before it happened. After Crawford's victory, Shields shared his analysis, saying he expected Terence's speed to be too much for Canelo to manage. He highlighted that Crawford's unique style and stance were his biggest strengths, effectively exposing Canelo's weaknesses in the ring. Shields also pointed out Bivol's smart use of his skills to take advantage of his opponent's flaws. Overall, he praised the fight as an impressive display of boxing skill and strategy.
Predicted Crawford by unanimous decision. You got that. But I just thought Crawford was too fast for Canelo. Too many combinations. Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looked for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo. And I just think that Crawford was too fast for him, you know, especially in the southpaw position. We all know Canelo have problems with the southpaw. So, you know, and that's why I picked Crawford. I just thought Crawford could be too fast.
As mentioned earlier, Ronnie Shields advised Canelo to retire, but Oscar de la Hoya disagreed, saying Canelo should have full control over his decisions. De la Hoya suggested that if Canelo feels ready, he can retire, but if he chooses to continue, he needs to pick his opponents carefully at this point in his career. Reflecting on his recent fight with Terence Crawford, he admitted that Crawford was simply too strong in the ring. He added that Crawford once again proved why he is the best at reading opponents and adjusting his strategy to defeat them.
Crawford is older than Canelo, so we can't use the excuse that he's older, right? We can't use the excuse that, oh, well, you know, he moved around too much. Well, it's your job to figure him out, right? Just like Chavez would figure out a fighter, just like I would figure out a fighter, just like any real great fighter can figure styles out. That's your job. I think Crawford did a tremendous job. Kudos to him. Sky's the limit for Crawford, and I really don't know where Canelo goes.
Furthermore, after looking at Canelo's career, Oscar de la Hoya shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford's future. He said Crawford's confidence has grown with this win, giving him even more drive to keep going. About weight classes, de la Hoya noted that Crawford will likely stay at 168 pounds and probably won't go back to 150. However, if a big fight comes in the 160-pound division, Crawford might consider moving down. Looking ahead, de la Hoya believes Crawford's best and most exciting matchup right now would be against Virgil Ortiz.
About Virgil and Crawford at 160. Imagine that. It would be incredible. So there's a good possibility that Crawford will stay at 168. Most likely go down to 160. I don't think he's going to touch 154. I think he'll stay at 160 eventually and try to find the biggest fights possible. And the biggest fight for him would be a for Georgie.
Another key figure, De La Hoya, said that the first few rounds of the Canelo versus Crawford fight were very close. He stressed that Crawford not only planned the fight well but also executed it perfectly, ultimately beating Canelo. De La Hoya praised Crawford's strategy and vision before and during the match, calling them exceptional. He noted that many had doubted Crawford because of Canelo's size and experience advantage. However, De La Hoya highlighted Crawford's focus, discipline, and determination, which led him to earn a well-deserved victory that night.
He did a great job. I thought it was close. I had Canelo ahead in the early going, but I thought Crawford did an amazing job closing that fight down in the last few rounds, where he really started to back the supposed bigger guy up, although for me, they looked about the same size. But that was a brilliant performance, and what can you say? I mean, you got to give him his credit. He created a lot of history. He dreamt this fight. He willed it to happen. A lot of people, not me, but a lot of people laughed at him and said, forget about it, no chance against a bigger guy like that. But he showed his great.
Furthermore, De La Hoya said that while a rematch between Canelo and Crawford would be exciting, it might not be the best move for either fighter. He suggested that both take advantage of other major opportunities available at this stage of their careers. He advised Canelo to weigh the pros and cons carefully before choosing his next fight. De La Hoya also said that Crawford's win over Canelo has earned him immense respect and that many top fighters will be eager to face him. However, he added that Crawford should consider factors like weight class, fight significance, and championship stakes when picking his next opponent.
Canelo had won, the winner of Eubank, and then the Hamza Shiraz. I mean, those types of names. He's got mandatories. Mabili got the draw tonight in a great fight. There's other fighters that have belts and interim belts and blah, blah, blah. So, nobody's going to rush Terence Crawford into his next fight. He'll take his time and, whatever the next fight is, it's going to be a big one because, his name is even greater now than what happened going into this fight for him. So he beats Canelo Alvarez, it becomes a much bigger.
Everyone agrees that Canelo Alvarez has had an outstanding career. Let's take a look at his achievements so far. The Mexican star has enjoyed one of the most remarkable careers in modern boxing, winning world titles in multiple weight divisions and rising from a teenage sensation in Mexico to a global superstar. He made his mark with wins over top fighters like Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, and Sergey Kovalev. These victories showcase not only his powerful counterpunching, but also his ability to adapt to different fighting styles. Canelo's skill at performing on the biggest stages has made him one of the sport's most popular pay-per-view draws. Now let's hear how Shane Mosley, who is respected worldwide for his skill, discipline, and dedication, described his fight with Canelo.
The young kid, I think he was 21, 22 years old. He had a lot of experience, I should say. He had a lot of boxing experience at his age.
40, 50 fights?
Huh?
He had 40 or 50 fights at that point, right?
40, 50 fights, but not just that. I'm talking about experience as far as knowledge about being the real, experience. Like veteran experience. Like he knew how to counter, he knew how to block and counter, do different things. So it wasn't like he was just an ordinary fighter. And I was like, and fighting him, I'm like, wow. He actually knows how to get away from stuff. He knows how to counter. He knows how to trick shots up. And say
Canelo's career highlights include his 2 intense battles with Gennady Golovkin, where he earned medals and captured the championship in highly competitive fights. He also made history as the first undisputed super middleweight champion by defeating Caleb Plant and unifying all 4 major titles. Beyond championships, Canelo has faced tough challenges across multiple weight classes, never shying away from risk, showing both skill and resilience. His combination of technical ability and relentless fighting spirit reflects Mexico's proud boxing tradition, securing his place as one of the top fighters of his generation. Crawford's gesture of returning belts to Canelo after their match shows the respect he commands in the sport. Meanwhile, David Benavidez has emerged as one of the most dominant super middleweights, boasting an undefeated record and a reputation for relentless power and aggression. At just 20, he became the youngest fighter to win the WBC World Championship twice. Benavidez has proven himself by defeating top opponents like Anthony Durd, David Lemieux, and Caleb Plant, and many see him as the future star of the 168-pound division. Let's take a look at his reaction after defeating Anthony Durd. In short, after the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight, the boxing world is buzzing about what comes next. Some fans and experts are calling for a high-stakes rematch, while others think both fighters should move on to new challenges. The debate over their next opponents has become one of the sport's hottest topics. With David Benavidez openly challenging Canelo, many feel this fight is a must because of its excitement and competitive appeal. On the flip side, some suggest Canelo consider retirement to protect his legacy rather than risk future losses. The big question remains, should Canelo take on Benavidez or step away from the ring to preserve his legendary career? Meanwhile, after his impressive win over Canelo, who will be Terence Crawford's toughest challenge next? Should he face rising stars like Virgil Ortiz, current 160 or 168-pound champions, or go for another mega fight against a top pound-for-pound contender? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what you think.